Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Who you with Kurt? I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt though. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt though. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt though. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt though. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt though. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt though. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt though. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It. Welcome to Speak On It. I'm welcome to Speak On It. 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 I'm welcome to speak. Welcome to speak. Welcome to speak. I'm 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 Who You With Kurt dog.
Yo, happy Thursday to everyone. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog. I'm Who You With Kurt Dog. Want to welcome everyone to the show tonight. Hopefully you had a great week so far. Tonight, you know who's on the show. Miss Risky is on the show tonight. We're going to be talking about some things that's going on in the world that we all need to hear about. Welcome, Miss Risky, to the show. Thank you for
Hi.
coming back again.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
All the time. We got to do this on Thursday. People be looking for you. They be tired of looking at my face. They be like, when Miss Risky coming back? Why she ain't on here all the time?
Because I'm
Well,
tired.
exactly. So welcome to the show. Tonight we're going to hit on the news that came out yesterday. Iran and Russia sending threatening emails to folks. Alabama Supreme Court. Also, we're going to talk about Derek Chauvin, Wendell Sanchez, and of course, we had a debate going on too. Welcome to the show, Radio Chaos, out of Canada, faithful listener. Welcome. Ms. Risky, on
Yeah.
Thursday, you normally bring us a little bit of history.
Yes. I have something different today.
Okay.
We are going to do some influential Black Americans, just people who influenced our history. So I'm going to try to introduce that instead of doing massacres and things like that, so that we can put some positivity on the Black community. So today we're going to be talking about Jane Bolin. She was the nation's first Black woman judge in 1939. That's a lot. That was pretty much like a mile marker. She was the first Black woman to graduate from Yale Law School, and she would eventually serve on the New York family court for 4 decades. Besides dealing with many domestic cases, she worked to stop probation officers from getting assignments based on the color of their skin. During her career, she also worked with Eleanor Roosevelt to create a program that would intervene before young boys committed crimes. So, sounds like an outreach type program. So that's pretty much it on her. So she did a lot in her time, and for 1930s for a female, just, and then she was Black on top of that, to be 4 decades on in a court system.
Yes, and she went to college at 16.
Yeah.
So she was very smart,
Very
educated. Welcome to the show, Gabe, out of Houston. Yes, we are watching the debate. while we doing the show. Also,
Yeah,
yes, we are.
in the
Welcome.
background.
I'm glad to see you coming back again tonight. Appreciate you for tuning in. And as always, you can chat with us in the chat room. Um, that's interesting. Glad to hear some positive things like that. Especially she going to college at the age of 16, which is really good.
Right.
I have a cousin out of Arkansas that actually went to college at the age of 16, and I want to say she hadn't finished and going back or something. I don't know, but she's very smart also. So
Right.
girl power,
Representing back in the
exactly.
1930s,
Black girl magic.
you know?
So that's good. Um, so I know we both have the debate on
Hmm.
and trying to listen to both. Um, so it's a lot. So let's talk about this Iran and Russia, which is crazy to me.
Yeah. And I'm still
Um,
not sure how that works. Like, I know they were saying that I guess Iran was trying to interfere with the election by sending intimidating emails to voters. Like, first of all, who's reading like random emails from people? Like, after the prince from Nigeria, I think people are a little more cautious about emails from random people. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, there's still a few people who, open it up and will click on links saying that their accounts are faulty. But threats via email, like who's really taking this stuff seriously?
Is that they getting high tech now, and I was going
Yeah.
to talk about this before. I guess earlier this month or last month. Oh, I'm sorry. Welcome to the show. Happy Thursday to you, T Cal. Um, but we also um, I get random facts from my past business. Um, so one day I decided I pulled it off, throw it in the trash like I normally do, but
Hmm.
I had one of those letters from one of those guys that saying that I have $100 million. Just need to contact me. Don't tell anybody.
Right.
I'm like, boy, um, I'm like, this is crazy how they roll this way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Just send me your bank account information. I'll send you 100 million. And all you have to do is just give me 1,000. That don't even
and I
sound right. Like, really? No.
exactly, and I was born last night,
Mhm.
so
Like,
yeah, I'm gonna do
and
that
those
right
that
away.
fell for it clearly were born that night. And I'm
Exactly.
like, that was craziness. But
But
yeah, just the whole idea that people or, just a country is influencing the votes or, by sending emails to intimidate voters or incite social unrest and damage, the president, you know, uh, these nominations or debates, anything. It's just like, it just it's crazy to me. Like, how is that? Like, have I gotten an email and just actually, just deleted it? Because I would like to see this email. Honestly, is it just for specific people? Because they're
it was
saying
for
that
the
it came
Democrat.
from the Proud Boys. So anything with Proud Boys, I'm gonna think it's like, it's like, hey, open this up from the Proud Boys. I'm gonna think it's porn. Delete it
um,
just like I do the Viagra. And I was like, well, I don't need that. So
um,
I don't know.
so one thing I picked up on that email,
Hmm.
well, I didn't receive it, but I believe it was CBS that did a report on it, and they said that it made threats saying that I have all your information. You will vote for Trump, or I'm coming after you. Now, I'm gonna make 2 points on this. One, Trump administration knew this a couple of weeks back that they was trying to hack into the system. They knew this, but also the other day, Trump mentioned Iran in a speech and said something about Iran. Said they need for him to get elected again. Now, the problem is with that. Seem like every time Trump mentions certain country, they come back. Seem like they trying to hack our election, um, our votes and stuff somehow. So this is going to be very interesting, and I believe if um, um, you're right, it's not. It's definitely not. They said most likely it's coming from Russia, but it also had Iran because Iran did do a launch of a rocket, a Russia rocket, not too long ago. I guess a couple of weeks ago. So I don't think they have the system to actually do it, but they probably working with Russia to try
But
to
do
hack
you
into
actually
it.
think they're actually doing any of this and it's not just an inside job? And they're just saying, oh, well, people don't like Middle East and they got all this stuff. Let's go after them again. They're sending you hate emails. Like, how hard is it to fake, information, especially if people are, you know, clicking on random links? They'll believe anything. So, do you really think they are actually getting involved with our business? Like, we're failing on our own already. Like, we don't need any other help.
Yeah, we don't need no help.
Yeah, like we're already doing bad all by ourselves. Like, do you really think they're taking the time out of their schedule to sabotage the elections?
Yeah,
You think
I
so?
I
I mean, I wouldn't put it past them, but like it's doing it's by itself. Like it's just who
well, with it's hard to say. It's hard to say
yeah.
because I remember a while back, and it haven't been that long ago, maybe a year or so ago. Trump actually mentioned that, yeah, Russia could have had the election. So he admitted to it. And sometimes when you're dealing with crazy people,
Mm.
if you just sit back and listen to them, they will tell on themselves.
Oh yeah.
So, and I think that's what Trump have been doing for a while. Just kind of hit and miss, put a little bit of information out there, but he knows exactly what he's doing. Um, then also, he made the comment about leaving if he leaving the country if he lose the election. Now,
He's good at drama, and because again, he's a reality show. He had a reality show, and it's all about the drama. And keeping people interested. And that's
exactly,
what he's bringing to this candidacy, like the drama, because we're a reality show nation and we're thoroughly entertained, but it should not be, running our country. Like that's just for entertainment purposes, not real life.
exactly. And I know Gabe made a couple of comments earlier, but he already left. So, oh
Oh,
well.
did he leave?
Yeah, he said he was going to watch the debate, which is cool. Um, they kind of seem like they talking sense, like they have sense tonight. Well, as soon as I said that, Trump said they shouldn't close the border. um,
I mean,
so
again, like this whole border wall, like it's like besides the
lies.
cartel, well, that too. Besides the cartel, like if they want to get drugs, people, whatever, across America, illegally, they will find a way. A tunnel,
Hell,
a
they
train, a truck. Like
exactly,
they don't need a wall, plane. Like they get off a plane, and you know how many drug mules there are in the world, and how many girls they traffic from one nation to the other. Like, come on, there is a system that's been in play since probably biblical times. You can't stop.
exactly.
You can't stop crime.
They hell, they dug a tunnel not too long ago.
Yeah.
Even the guy that is I forgot his name, drug lord that was up in New York. I believe he's still there. Hell, he was in jail and he dug his way out.
Right.
Um,
Listen, people still using the Underground Railroad. Like they still got them tunnels. They fortified them and made them better.
but radio says Scott Walker wanted to build a wall along the Canadian border when he ran in 2016. A border for what? He's scared we're gonna come up there. Uh,
Probably take
that would
all
have
their
been
jobs, but it's a lot of wilderness. Like we ain't ready for them black bears.
exactly.
We the last thing they worried about. Them
you
bear attacks. They ain't
they
going in the woods.
they
Sneak
might
across.
get lucky to find a bone or something of you, but I don't
Listen,
know.
they wouldn't even know where you were in that vast country.
Well, it's definitely I just think that Trump is going to continue to lie, regardless of what happened in this election. Um, oh, he said, I think it's to compete with Trump. He's an idiot. That's probably the reason why he lost the election. So he just, yeah, I wasn't going for that one. Like, what you going to close our border down? Because being a truck driver, I never been to Canada, but I've heard stories of Canada. One of the biggest stories I heard as a truck driver coming up there, you can get in there with no problem. Coming out is a problem. You could be, oh, he was the first to drop out. You could be stuck at the border for a week or so because if you ever been arrested in America, they gonna run a complete check on you and they're gonna make sure you're okay before they leave their country. Um, so that's interesting. We need to pay attention to this email and stuff. Now, still, I don't understand this next story. Um, Alabama Supreme Court. I'm very confused about that because here it is in the middle of an election. I would assume they doing early voting. I'm not quite sure, but I think most states are now. But the Supreme Court actually ruled 5-3 to overturn a district court ruling that would allow counties to offer curbside voting. Due to the pandemic, there's a lot of people that have compromised immune system, and it's easier for them to vote by curbside. But Alabama Supreme Court overturned that. And that's another part of voter suppression, which Alabama, I'm not surprised because they did some stuff a couple of years ago, which was really crazy. So I'm I'm listening to Trump talking about putting plastic glass up for business is very expensive and business are dying. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
It's
Um,
like he tries to make have all these things in place, but companies have to enforce all these things, and they don't have the money for it. It's like we already have no people. Like most people working from home, it's not
exactly,
cost effective. Like where's this money coming from? How are businesses supposed to keep going? With this pandemic going on safely. Like we can't even find Lysol. Like companies can't even clean the facilities properly. You know,
exactly.
it's just
That's
there's just no way. Like
yeah,
there is
that's
just no way.
that's really it's hard to I, I'm gonna take this out in the air because I'm gonna mess around and lose complete focus on this. So I just think Trump is basically making excuses, trying to justify the things and talking about these companies cannot survive. Um,
That cocaine's a crazy drug. Hell
Exactly.
of a drug.
Um, so I think with him is basically he's trying to justify all the damage that had been done,
Oh
but
yeah,
he's overlooking the fact that if he would have made us aware how serious this virus was, we could have got ahead of it. Matter of
right.
fact, if he could have left that team in place, we could have
Yeah, he got rid of all of the what is it, the
uh,
doctors for the pandemic. Like,
yeah, to
I forgot
prevent a
what they call them.
pandemic.
What were they called? What's their title? I forgot. Not the CDC, but it was something. And I was like,
Uh,
really? You got rid of the brains of this operation?
exactly. So that's so I think what he's doing tonight is basically trying to justify his actions, but you got to look at the root cause of everything. And the root cause was you had such a hard on for President Obama. You went in and changed everything he had in place, which is not good at all.
Just it seems like just to spite them. Like there
Yeah,
was no benefit, no backup plan, just to strike his name out of everything. Like just because of either jealousy or hatred. It's like, dude, like let's focus.
you're right, radio. Yeah, it's very complex for him, and it's that's something he cannot do. Boy, if they give him a Rubik's cube, it will be hell.
Listen, he'll be in the corner rocking.
I can't do this. I can't do it.
No, he'll just pull off the stickers like we all learned in the
Either,
pull it
either
apart.
pull it apart and put it back the way you want it to go. If
Yeah.
he can do
If
that,
he's smart enough to figure that part
exactly.
out.
He probably break it, or he mess around and pull one off. Oh, this thing is
pull the
broke.
pull the peg out and it breaks. That'd be hilarious.
Then he'd be like, "It's broke. I can't get it." You just have to put it back together,
And
match
it
the
snaps back.
colors.
Yeah, we figured that out at a young age.
Um, yeah, yeah. If tweeting stopped the virus, the world, ah, the U.S. would have had no cases. I'm thinking why I'm reading this at the same time because we was gonna talk about that his Twitter account being hacked. So his passwords would make a 2020.
Like really?
The guy should have tweeted a little bit.
They should have put like a big black booty on there, like Cardi B. And just out of fun. Like the WAP video. Just her bouncing her booty.
Or that
Like,
other
yeah,
video, somebody did a remix, uh, weak ass president,
yeah.
and put that on there. Be like, oh, that's cool, and
Right.
then
And
have them dancing on it. That would have
just a
been
mess.
exactly.
They were
So,
like, Prince, did you put that on there? You on that Ambien again?
well, he probably 9 times out of 10, he probably would not have known it was on there because
Yeah,
he probably wouldn't be reading his tweets.
right,
He probably would have been like, "Oh, I have high numbers of tweets today. This is my
right.
record."
Well, I'm
You
sure
went
somebody would have caught it. They should be regulating his stuff because he just does the most. He's worse than like a 13-year-old girl.
uh, how did they know they were hacked? Was the gamer too correct for Trump to? Well, actually, he tweeted to Twitter to the FBI, and I have no idea.
I heard a bell. Is that ringing?
Yeah, it's probably Greg Abbott trying to call me. It's an Austin number.
No, it's
So,
from India by way of often
Be talking
and
about
routed it.
well, because my phone is normally on silent, but
Uh-huh.
because I was listening to the debate,
Oh, that's right. You're on your phone.
yeah, that's why it rung. I apologize, but um
Yeah, I thought it was coming from the television. I looked up. I was like, they got a phone? That's what I was like. And I was like, no, that's coming from somewhere else.
now the person who's talking in Trump ear got disconnected and had to
I
call
know.
him back.
I was like, we just got to call in, guys. They want to see you arm wrestle.
Yeah, but radio, to answer your question, the guy did tweet out to Twitter, FBI, and a couple other people and said, your account is not secured. And this wasn't the first time. Um, the first time his Twitter got hacked. Now, I think in 2016 it got hacked, and his password was "You're fired." That's just crazy. I'm like, okay. So
Like, can you
now,
be a little bit more original 45, please?
exactly. Well, now they have to. Uh, you got to have a two-part um authorization. So
Or
I use
security or
that on.
something.
Oh, yeah, they up the security a little bit. I do that on all of my things to
Do it
make
on
sure.
some, like my Yahoo, because I want to keep that because it's simple. I've had it since college years. Since the whole having your own email was a thing. Um, and so I do it's not a two-part thing. Like it'll send me a notification. Hey, are you trying to log in? Yes or no? And it'll send me an alert on my phone, or I have to actually log in and from my phone and hit yes or no if I'm on my laptop or at work looking at So I may do that with all my platforms, but I'm lazy.
Hmm. I know with um like social media, um I have to go in and get a code to put in to verify this. I mean, had to download a separate app to do it. So just basically keeping someone from hacking my account. And sometime what happened, different ones would do different things. They would send me an email, a text, and ask if this was me,
Yeah.
the location. So if I ever see anything say Iran or Russia, nope, that ain't me.
Listen, I've had so many people like because it shows you, hey, are you trying to log in from Taiwan? No.
Oh, heck,
Philadelphia? No. Somebody hacked into my Netflix account, changed, like I'm going in, I'm like, I can't get into my Netflix. And so you know how you do, I was like, well, I guess I'll just update my password. Went in to do my security check. It didn't know my email address. They changed it. I had to
oh
call
wow.
them and tell them, dude. They're like, yeah, we'll change that. And of course, all my settings were different because it was like I was new to Netflix, but I
Yeah.
wasn't. But they had my information and I validated, my account.
Posting on Instagram. Um, I get a lot of friend requests, and some I will accept, some I would not. For the
And
simple
my
fact
thing came, yeah, somehow my thing went away.
that was Russia and Iran.
I know.
They trying to
They
get you.
trying to hack me. Don't click any links.
I looked up. You was like, I'm
Yeah,
like,
because
you
it's like
okay?
all of a sudden you started winding down like a robot. It was like, "Meow, meow, meow, meow." And then the stuff was like, oh Lord. And then I saw the spin and I was like, let me just re-loop around.
I said, you
Yeah.
okay, Risky?
She's having a
Then all of a
stroke.
sudden it just went off.
Yeah, because
So
then I just refreshed. I was like, instead of waiting for it to do anything.
yeah,
Darn
but
Russia.
Russia and Iran, blame them. But that's kind of like what I was saying, like Instagram. I get a lot of requests and from friends that I know personally, even family members. And I'll be like, okay. why are you sending me this? And one friend, this was on a Saturday morning. Um, I had got a request from a friend like the day before. I'm like, oh, okay, had the pictures on there and everything. So they started sending me off question. First thing they said was, hello, hi, how you doing today? I called them and I'm on the phone while I'm talking to them and this person going back and forth. Then they come and ask me, have you heard the good news? Block, delete. I'm out of here. So radio says somebody in Venezuela hacked into his Netflix account. They're all over. They don't care.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter how secure you think you are. If somebody wants into your account, they'll get in. Like they're like I got a notice from Chase Bank saying, "Hey, your account may have been compromised. We're sending you a new card." And I'm like, so they're not even, it's like the banks aren't even safe. Like, and they're supposed to be highly secured, allegedly.
Allegedly, because some of
But,
them,
again, if they want in, criminals will find a way. That's what
shoot,
hacker does. Find back doors to everything for no reason except clearing my student loan. I'm just saying, Iran, Russia, help us out. Like, for real.
that's why I say clear them all out.
Yeah, clear them out. Let them figure it out and be like, hey, did you owe us money? Did I
Mm-mm.
owe you money?
I got an
Do I know
email
you?
said paid in full.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm
no,
finna get my house.
mm, that wasn't me. I didn't do it. I
It's
did not
like
do it.
it's like the Lord blessed me with a free account
Exactly.
because it was stressing me out.
So it's I'm also trying to see. It's one particular. I think I'm gonna cancel this one too. I'm looking at this particular channel that we're supposed to be on. That I don't see us showing up on there. So yeah, I'm
Which
gonna go
one?
through
Because
and
I know you're on YouTube.
it's on a D Live. I'm not sure why, but it seemed like it's searching, but all the channels right now have Trump on there, have the debate on there. So I don't know if that's it, but oh, it's saying we're offline, but I know that's not true. Uh, but the chats are coming up, so
Right.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some stuff, take it off there, and be like, hey, forget it. It didn't work out. So,
Yeah.
but um, other
Everybody's
than
sending messages on YouTube. I felt left out.
there she go. Hey
Hey,
y'all.
I was left
Yeah,
out. I like to be left out of the party.
there you go, Miss
The
Risky.
Pisces in me. Like, but if you invite me, please be like, nah, I don't want to
You know what?
go.
It's still
That's me.
Corona still out there. I'm
It
good.
is.
I
Yeah.
don't
It's like,
I don't
hey, why
I
don't y'all
don't
ever invite me place? And then they invite me. Who's gonna be there? What time is it? I'm just gonna stay home.
yeah,
Thanks though.
I'm not interested.
I
I'm not
know.
gonna do that tonight. It's
I
just not
know.
my thing. But hey, people still hanging out. Numbers are still
In
going up.
large numbers without mask. Like all of a sudden there was a cure. Like the cooler temperatures. And then what's gonna happen now that the weather's gonna get all cold and whatever, they're gonna be packed in. They're
Yeah.
gonna be packed into one spot, huddled together, breathing COVID on each other with
And
ice particles.
radio mentioned that the other night on the show because up there it already starting to get cold. And he said what most people is doing is um they're actually going inside. So the numbers are spreading quite a bit. Like Canada have actually got up to over 200,000 cases, which is uh kind of strange for them because they've been pretty much under control. But
Yeah.
now they numbers are on the rise. and
And
people
then
are
it's just funny people talking about the numbers between the flu and this COVID, and they're like, the flu is down so much, and I'm like, and they're like, well, maybe this is the COVID is just the flu all along, and I'm like, no, people are washing their hands now, and people are staying put, like not spreading them nasty flu viruses, because that's what it is. All these viruses are like you can control it easy, but washing hands and being clean. And people weren't doing that with the flu outbreaks and stuff like that. And now we got something that's killing folks like the plague. And now they're being extra, oh, I got a hand sanitizer and all this and that. And I was like, yeah, that's why the flu is like kind of like on the DL, because we're doing things that kind of prevent a lot of these like viruses. But I'm sure it's going to pop up because, again, because people are going to be, like you said, inside drinking and carrying on like it's, 1999.
they partying like 1999. Um, so and what people got to realize in one of the studies that they're doing this vaccine in, um, one of the guys, someone actually passed away. That was part of the
The trial.
trial, and they don't know why. Well, probably
Well,
because
I
they
mean,
had
nobody
COVID.
understands this virus. How are you going to create something like trials last years,
Exactly,
not within the year, 3 months? Like you can't roll out something and you don't know the impact this is going to have on society. Like this could make people sterile. Like be like 5 years from now, oh, I can't have babies. Whole nation dying out. You know.
exactly. I actually and I pay attention to a lot of people. Welcome back, Gabe. Glad you're able to make it back. I pay attention to a lot of people, and I was listening. I guess I had been really bored at the time, but I was listening to this show, and I was like, "Can I recall that time I spent listening to them?" Because
Mhm.
that was a hot mess. I'm like, all the lies they was telling. Uh, like they say all the time, just because we look alike don't mean that we think alike. And um, this person, I was like, okay. I sent you a picture of it yesterday. Um, the picture I sent you at
Which
the
one?
comment,
Oh yeah,
the
yeah,
one, yeah.
yeah. I saw.
So I caught part of that show this morning. I was like, man, this guy is a joke, and not in a good way. So I'm like,
Mhm.
hey, everybody is entitled to their own opinion, which is
But do you
great.
think it was like a satire that people are taking seriously, or do you actually think that was legit?
With him,
Yeah,
oh, that's legit. That's well, you know what? I'm gonna say it's legit.
because he looked like to me a black Borat, like for real. I was like that because he was like in disguise. I'm like, listen, if you gonna vote this way and sway people, be convicted, you're like in your truth. Put it out there. Don't be scared.
Exactly. Well, my thing, the thing
Like you said, he looked like the Humpty. What is it, Humpty Hump?
yeah, the guy from Digital
What was
Underground.
his name? What was his name? I forgot his name.
Uh,
Was it just Humpty? But it was
no, that
something
was
else,
the
wasn't it?
dance. That was the song. Let me see.
What was his name?
Let me see if
Cause
I can pull it up.
yeah, it was Humpty. Cause he was a people ask Yo Humpty,
You know
but I
what?
thought it was
You're
something
right.
else. Like I have
Uh,
to go through the lyrics in my head. Yes, I know the words. Don't judge me.
um, but I was like, this dude is okay. Yeah, he did look like Humpty, but he didn't have the traditional nose. I guess
Yeah.
he's so. caught up, he actually wore a white nose. I'm like, okay. Uh,
Now I have the Humpty song in my head.
do
Like,
that dance, do the dance, do the.
huh.
I'm gonna have to play that.
Listen, don't, because it's a horrible video. Like, and then like he looks like, what was that guy from Schitt's Creek? I don't know if you watched that,
What's the
or
name?
from what is his name? But those brows. Remember Bringing Down the House?
Yeah,
Eugene Levy. That's his name. That's who he looks like in this picture. Eugene Levy. There he goes with those
yeah.
brows. I knew
I,
the name would pop up because I love Levy. I
I
love
was
him.
like, I was
But I'm
like,
like, how can you take this serious? Like, dude, you represent. You got your hat on. Kanye out there posing and got his Trump flag flying high. Represent. Take the nose off. And them bushy brows.
exactly.
Represent. Wear your Trump shirt and wave your banner proud.
And he's
Like,
out
I
of
can't
Atlanta.
take this serious. I
He's out
can't.
of Atlanta. I said what it may be is um he's doing that and he wearing that disguise for his true friends won't know exactly who it is. But they I think he's doing it to just get paid
I
because
mean, is he getting paid? Do we know this? Like, I think he's just.
he have a lot of followers. So
I
I'm not
think.
knocking
Yeah.
it, but I
Yeah.
cannot sell out like that. That's just me. I cannot do it. T Cal said yes, the guy did look like Humpy and seemed terrible. um, and she also asked Gabe, what do you think about the debate? So, but yeah, the guy is actually oh, uh, Risky, you wasn't here, but Gabe, he came on Tuesday night. Him and Eva Donkey, they tried to tag team against me. They both support Trump, which they are welcome. Everybody is welcome here. So I'm glad he came back tonight. And
Yeah. He
I'm
can't
not
quit you.
ha,
He can't quit you.
exactly. Everybody is welcome. To answer your question, Gabe, I've really took the debate out of my ear because I was getting sidetracked trying to listen to that and also do the show and read things at the same time. So, but I definitely appreciate you coming back, and you can um, always welcome here. That's what it's always about. But yeah, that particular guy, I he's from Atlanta, had these uh, this disguise on, and I'm like, you know what? If you truly believe in what you're talking about, let it be known.
Exactly.
Let it be known.
Represent.
And they said some stuff this morning, and I don't know if it's true or not. Um, but I tried to pull it up. I didn't see anything about it saying that talking about the coronavirus, talking about it's not real, basically repeating what Trump have said. And that's what's so dangerous about this, because
Exactly.
with all the signs and the numbers that are going on, all the lives that have been lost, people still are following Trump, even after Trump have said he lied about it,
Right.
and they still want to follow him. So that's
They're
a
downplaying this virus like crazy, and that just boggles my mind.
exactly.
Like,
So with this guy, he actually went to the point of saying that, oh, it's just the flu. And someone that is on the show with him actually said, oh, in my neighborhood, hold on. Oh, in my neighborhood, they're giving out $10 gift cards if you come and take the flu shot. I'm like, really? And people are actually gonna believe that. I don't know of any place
well,
giving.
CVS will give you credit. Like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah, they're yeah. If you go ahead and get it, yeah, CVS
Oh,
is
I
doing it.
stand corrected.
Yeah, CVS, but they're the only ones I think that I know about that does it. Tom Thumb may do it, but I can't. Don't
Uh,
quote me on that. They're starting to do more, give people more incentives to get the flu shot. But I got mine through my doctor.
well, because I don't trust it. No, I don't trust it. I used to get them every year, but since some of the things I've gone through since 2017, I don't trust them.
I went on
Uh,
and got mine. My doctor made me get it. And I was like, you know what? Last time I got it, because people, like, I hadn't had a flu shot in 10 years, was fine, never had the flu. And then people jinxed me and wished it upon me, and I ended up getting the flu. But I didn't know I had the flu because I was just like walking around like normal, went to happy hour, spreading it. I just thought I had really bad sinuses, and then went to the doctor and they're like, yeah, you got the flu. And I was like, oh. And then when I got home, that's when I was like, it's taking me an hour just to get out of bed. Like everything was like, I was just fatigued. And I was like, oh, this is what fatigue means because I can't function right now.
yeah. Now, just because I'm saying I don't trust them, I'm not telling
Yeah.
anyone else to take them or not take them. You
Mhm.
have to follow your doctor's order, and
And you
I
know your own health. You know what just basically just take your vitamins and just keep your distance from a lot of people and just wash your hands and practice good hygiene. That's
exactly.
it.
So I
You'll be
do.
fine.
I take quite a bit of vitamins, so I'm good on that point. Um, at some point, I probably will start back taking them, but not right now. So, um, also, we've been hearing in the news quite a bit. Um, these are very disturbing stories that have really, it's upsetting and it's happening way too often. Um, Wendell Sanchez, which is
34-year-old man.
that might have been Big Bubba calling because he was watching on YouTube and was asking me to make sure he come his way because that might have been who it was. I should have answered for you. Then y'all could have heard Big Bubba yourself and saying, "Hey, send Wendell down here."
Exactly. Like I know he did this crime in Louisiana, but bring him to Austin. But
Exactly.
basically, this man from Louisiana, um, took his alleged 11-year-old rape victim to the hospital, only to be led um, to lead police on a chase after doctors learned the girl was pregnant with his child. And so I'm like, what? Like more and more of these stories are coming out every day, like in multiple times a day. And this is an 11-year-old girl getting dropped off by her father, somebody who's supposed to be her protector, who allegedly raped her, and now he got her pregnant. So eventually, there was a chase. The officers got him, um, and so he's when the deputies arrived, he fled, um, and he ended up hiding in a nearby apartment complex. So when they found him hiding on a patio out there, they also said he was in possession of illegal narcotics as well, marijuana and drug paraphernalia. So he faces a whole slew of felonies, like besides the abuse. But what they have so far is rape with a victim under 13 and creation of a clandestine lab, which I guess is just manufacturing drugs. So he's a drug dealer, and, with that, I'm thinking he probably sold his daughter for money,
Yeah,
you know. And his bond right now is set to more than $500,000. But I'm like, leave these babies alone.
exactly.
Let them be kids. Like, yeah, like the media and everything, like they make kids want to grow up faster, but I'm like, listen. And then we down kids who are like 16, 17, who want to be kids, like, oh, you need to grow up. No, stay babies, stay innocent as long as you can, because the world is scary and there are creeps out there who sexualize babies. Like, it makes no sense to me. Like, the fact that you find a kid sexually arousing or just want to take their innocence away is mind boggling and it's disgusting. And then, what was it, Tuesday? Um, Girl on the Zoom video?
Yeah. What was
Was
she
that in
stepping?
Texas?
No, that
Yes,
was in Chicago.
oh,
Oh, was
Chicago.
it? It could have been in Texas too. There's so many
No, it
of
may
them
have
coming up.
been Chicago. That one may have been in Chicago. She muted her Zoom, but she was still on, like people could see her, the students and the
It was
teacher.
on break.
Right. And she muted the video, and the 17-year-old boy, was it a cousin? I
My
think it was
cousin.
a cousin, came into the room and he made her perform oral on him. And I'm sure this wasn't the first time he's done that, because it was like second nature, I guess. And the teacher reported it and had the cops go to the house because, you know, they're watching this and their kids on the feed, break or not, you can see what's going on. And the cops arrested him, and the fool had the nerve to be crying on the milk shot. Like, what you crying about? You just violated a 7-year-old. Like, really? Like, you can't go out and get a girl? Like, and then you just ruined your cousin's life?
Exactly. And
Like,
and
it's
and
crazy.
and in the story, it actually talked about this been going on for about a year.
Right. So,
And
and probably longer than that, if, like, because they're like, you just don't wake up one day, hey, I'm gonna, you know, like, he's probably done this longer, and then it just went further once she was older, and I say that she's still a baby, 7 years old, 6 years old, 5 years. Those are babies. Like, they just barely got a toddler years. You know what I mean? Like, she's learning her ABCs, and now she's learning the art of pleasing a dude. Like, no, that's too young. Like, she's a baby. And the fact that he's got the nerve to start crying because he got caught, like, dude, bye. Now you're gonna be crying because Bubba's gonna make you suck on his little weed whacker.
it's
Like,
really a
ridiculous.
sick situation because what was it? A couple of weeks ago, we talked about the father that killed this baby that was 1 year. Wait a minute,
I
she
don't think it was one.
I think she was 6 months old,
Yeah.
sexual assaulted a child to where it killed her.
Hmm.
These are some sick ass bastards. That's
Like, they
all it
just coming out of, like, this quarantine is bringing all the freaks and pedos out into the light. Like, they're just like, they just got so comfortable that they're just doing all sorts of things.
It's
Like, it's
crazy
ridiculous.
how this is going on. And ladies, please know who you leaving your kids with. Please know. And then another thing that is on the rise too is domestic violence. It's on the rise. Um, it's a guy here in Dallas in the Metroplex. Shot him, think he killed his wife, and um or the mother of his child killed them and turned around and he's on house arrest now.
Right. That's
What the
ridiculous.
hell?
Like, you just killed your whole family, and he just out on house arrest. But here's that dude who's gonna be Bubba's best friend. He got the nerve to cry.
See that bubble? He's on his way.
Look at that, got them baby fat cheeks, got that hair, straighten it out. He can put ponytails.
We say he got the jaws for it. um, yeah, that's crazy. This
It was
guy,
like stories. Like, I was just sitting there, I was just like, this week. Pedos just everywhere violating children or killing them. And it's not even, and women, like you was talking about, women have to make better choices. Like, I know sometimes because of circumstance, your hands are tied, but you've got to have more options than to leave them with, like, your man,
Exactly.
boyfriend, husband, their temperament. You know this. You know not to leave them with them because anything can happen with them and that child. Even if it's just like an inkling, like I don't know. If you
And
can, leave them with a girlfriend or, you know, but we also need better, we need more facilities that cater to like women who are raising their kids on their own and trying to make a living because childcare is way too damn expensive. Like it's rent.
exactly. And not only that, that's kind of like the baby that was killed in Houston because the mother went on a trip or something and her body was found in Arkansas. I'm like, really? Not only females need to do better, but guys need to do better. Um, because believe it or not, there's a lot of female that are pedophiles. So
And they'll do
you have to be
anything.
careful whoever you leave your kids around.
Exactly.
I've heard stories where um the stepmama having sex with the stepson and stuff like this. I'm not
Right.
talking
Or
about
the auntie or whatever. And this has been going because it's like, but here's the funny thing about that. Like when little boys say they're violated by an older female, they get, oh, you got that, you got an old lady. With the
exactly
script, oh, it's nasty. It's all nasty. Like
because
no kid under the age of consent should be violated by anyone.
not anyone, and that's a subject that the black community don't want to talk about.
Yeah, we need to do way better.
Yes, we need to do better. Matter of fact, I was telling Miss Kincaid last time she was on. Uh, we actually said we need to do a show on sexual assault, and so I need to reach out to her, and we're gonna have that show because this is going on too long, and then victims of sexual assault, the lifelong drama they have to deal with. Look at the young
Mhm.
ladies dealing with it from Ibach. Allegedly, Ricky Rush have violated some young ladies there, and they've been dealing with this since '98. So here it is. This is crazy.
And then
This
also, like a lot of times because of how we grew up, we downplay the abuse that was done. Like I have a coworker who sees a therapist, and she was like she told me the story. She was molested, but the more she told me the story, and I'm like, that's not molestation. That's full on rape. And then I was telling her that, and she was like, "Yeah, well, he just molested me, and it went on and da da da." And then her counselor, she came back to work. She's like, "You know what?" She said the same thing you said. She was like, "Why did you choose that word molestation? You were raped." And I think it was just, and she thinks it was just a way to cope with what had happened to her.
because it's downplayed in so many
Hmm.
community. Now let me explain something. I know I said in the black community, that's a subject that a lot of people don't want to discuss, but that doesn't eliminate any other communities because it
It happens
happens
all across the board.
everywhere. It happens everywhere. And people just need to be open and talk openly about it. And if you've been a victim, get some counseling. Get some counseling because it will make a difference in your life. That's why the counselors always say, whatever you how you handling stuff today, stand from your childhood. Whatever you went through as a child, you're still dealing with it if you haven't addressed it. So definitely get some help. This is really crazy. It make you not want to even go online and see these stories, because if like every day something with a child is happening, an innocent child have no reason for being violated by no one, and it's sick people out here. So that's that's
A
it
lot
really
of
pisses
people
me
with
off on
all
that.
these mental illnesses that have gone untreated, and you don't know what people are going through um, just by looking at them. But these people putting their kids, and like they're being abused. So why are you gonna have your kid in that in that position? Like they're too like just because you make bad choices doesn't mean that they have to be put in those same situations. Like we need to do better. We need to make better choices and not be in a relationship out of desperation and like, oh, I need half my rent paid. Like there's got to be better options. We have to do better.
Yeah, we definitely have to. Um, we're gonna start winding down here in a little bit. So y'all, we changing up a little bit. I've been telling y'all we're gonna be making some changes on the show. So we are gonna be winding down here shortly, but we have a couple of more stories we're gonna talk about, and then we're gonna fly it up out of here because we got to get up in the morning. so uh, so the judge dropped the third-degree murder charge against former officer Derek Chauvin in the George Floyd case. Um, when I heard that, I'm like, okay, why did he drop the charge? Um, in every state between second and third degree, you have to check the state to find out exactly what it means. And at least with the second degree charge, it actually give them the opportunity of giving him a max of 25 years. Um, I still feel like it should have
This
been
third
life.
degree what murder charge against and what was the other one? Second degree murder
Manslaughter.
and manslaughter.
Yeah,
And then the other officers as well. What did they get? Like Tal Alexander, I can't pronounce his last name, and Lane. They're charged with aiding and abetting second degree murder and aiding and abetting second degree manslaughter. But they were all fired the day after Floyd's death. Um, but yeah, hopefully there'll be some justice served there. Um, but yeah, at least second degree and it's still on the table. And like I said, there's still some other um, charges that they're weeding out and seeing what they can kind of get them on. Because the last thing we want is for them to get like probation over that, which we see that all too often.
well, my issue was I had a problem when he was released on $1 million bond
And then it was just
on a
like,
murder charge.
right. And then it
And
was just like, here you go. And he's out walking around. Like,
exactly.
who's got that?
So I have a problem with that, because if you are charged and the video show it, so it's no secret,
Hmm.
um, the way you put all your weight on George's neck, and like it was nothing.
Right.
So I feel like hell, they ought to do you the same way for this for the same time, 8 minutes 46 seconds, and see
Right.
if you survive. I feel
And
like
then,
if
yeah. But also, let me go back to the difference between the third and the second degree charges.
okay,
So according to Minnesota law, murder in the third degree is committed when there isn't intent or premeditation. So it's all about intent with these degrees. But the second degree is the most common charge used for against officers in deadly use of force cases. So
Yeah, okay.
that's it. So the
Well,
intention is the what would be hard to prove in a court of law because you get that reasonable doubt, and somebody's like, "Well, we don't know. He went out to intentionally. Like, did he wake up in the morning and just say, 'I'm going to kill somebody'? I'm going to kneel on him." You know what I mean? Like, there's a whole there are ways sleazy lawyers can get away and sleaze their way out of that charge, and then not you're free to go.
then when you
And
have
at least with the second degree, it's like, listen, your actions caused the death,
yeah,
and we can get you on that because
and
we see you doing this cause
nine
and
time
effect.
he's probably gonna plea out 9 times out of 10.
We'll see what happens.
Um, to keep from going to trial because he could face up to 25 years in prison. Um, in 25 years, George not coming back, so
Yeah,
he should get
right.
the same sentence. I
But
think
at least the judge, he denied the motions to dismiss the aiding and abetting charges against the other officers. So we're headed in the right directions with that one. They're trying to get something that they can actually charge them and get them maybe punished for.
well that would be good.
Yeah.
Um, and also, I know we. Oh, excuse me. Um, well, we talked about Trump email already, so
Hmm.
um, and talked about that, but um, I just wish I just hope everybody, regardless of who win the president, you know what, we're going through too much already,
Yeah.
and it's a time where we need to come together as people. Stop look,
Regardless.
yeah, stop looking at the color of a person's skin. Because and I say it all the time, when our day come, it don't make a difference what color you are. It won't matter. So let's get along while we here today and work together. Now, there are some crazy folks out here.
On
Yes,
all sides and all races.
yes, it
They're
is. It
everywhere.
is. Tell you how crazy it is. Um, the wife and I was traveling. We was out and about yesterday. Now it was almost 90 degrees here in Dallas yesterday. So we driving down the street and I see a dude with a leather trench coat on, leather pants and everything. And I'm like, and when I passed by, I said, that's a scary sight right there. But I'm driving, so I just seen him, kept on going. And my wife was like, yeah, that is scary. He walking around with that assault rifle. I'm like, what? She was like, yeah, he had an assault rifle. Well, I didn't see that part because it was a couple of cars in front of me, so I couldn't see it. I said, you for real? She like, yeah. I made a U-turn, went back. Sure enough, he was walking with an assault rifle, walking down the street with all leather on. And it
Just
was,
hot, sticky, and miserable
I said,
with
I know there's some stink up in
rifles.
that. 'Cause, yeah, it was almost 90 degrees. And I'm like, what is this dude doing? But then again, people like that, you need to get them tested mentally because something not right. You walking around in Texas and 90
In the
degree
city
weather.
with an assault rifle. Why? Like,
It's not
yeah,
even that. It's not even just
yeah,
about the assault rifle, but you have
uh,
on all leather and a leather trench coat, kind of like what the Undertaker used to come
yeah.
in on.
Oh yeah. He's
I'm
probably on that.
like,
He's probably on those drugs. He's probably cold. He like we don't know like what he's on because when I see people like that, I'm like I automatically think drugs.
It got to be something.
Drugs, because
Um,
listen, you see it all the time, drugs.
so we
But
did. I
the
turned
assault
around.
rifle on top of that,
Yeah,
it's too many red
that's
flags.
crazy.
I'm
Um,
reporting you. I'm gonna
well,
pull a Karen.
I started to, but I was like, you know what? Um, I'm not gonna be a person because they probably say, well, hey, it's legal for him to carry. It's open.
Yeah, but
It's
you
his
know, there should
rights.
be limits to the open carry. Like,
Yeah,
you're in the suburbs. Chill out, dude. You don't need an assault rifle.
exactly.
Take a little 45, you'll be all right.
But people do stuff like that to get
They just be
attention.
extra.
They want attention. They want someone to say something to them.
And those are the
And
people you have to watch out for.
exactly, because those the ones, as soon as someone says something, they will pull it on you. And first thing they say, I was defending myself.
Right.
So I'm like, nope. But it's crazy how people do. Um, only thing I can say, look, um, we're changing the show up. So we're gonna be a little bit more mindful, trying to do some more things, and hopefully y'all keep sticking with us and talking with us. I always appreciate Miss Risky coming out on a Thursday night.
I
Uh,
know.
so it's always a good time. I look forward for Thursday. I don't care
Aw,
whatever type of day I'm
thank
having.
you.
On Thursday, I get happy. I could be feeling bad, looking bad. I'm like, hey, Miss Risky coming on tonight. I'm ready for the night. So my wife seen me doing flips earlier. I said, she like, boy, what done got into you? I said, Miss Risky, she coming on tonight. We finna have a good time. So but other than that, people please pay attention to your kids. And
Yeah,
another thing on that, if your kids are telling you somebody is doing something, believe them.
exactly.
Okay, hold on. Let me believe them, but also pay attention because you're not gonna have um a small child just come up and think of things like that. That's not unless
And then
someone is coaching.
also, kids don't know how to express themselves a lot. Like they'll use things like, "Hey, come play with me," when they're stressed because they don't know how to tell you that they're stressed. Like you got to listen to them and pay attention. Like they're changing their behavior and be more present. Stay off the phones and the Facebook. Pay attention to your kids.
Exactly.
They're too young to be dealing with all this mess.
Um, and then it's just you have to pay attention if they have a change. Their emotions start changing where they was a happy go person, now they looking sad, start wetting the bed, not wanting to eat, or if they start pulling away from people, certain if it's one particular person come around and they just freeze up or I don't want to go to that person, pay attention. Pay attention because this is our future. This is our future that is coming up. Um, and we don't need them to be mentally messed up. And that's all a person is doing when they taking the innocent. So definitely pay attention to that. And if it's parents out there lying on the other parent to try to get an upper hand in cases, stop doing that too. Stop doing it because the only person that is gonna hurt is the child. Um, I think I got a little person on that, but so yeah, stop doing it. It's not good. But Miss Risky, um, I didn't even ask you how your week was. I was just so excited. T Cal said, actually, I enjoy all the shows. Yeah, but Thursdays are fire.
Oh, thank you, T Cal.
So yeah, I get happy whenever I know she coming. I'll be like, man,
And I'll
okay.
try to have more information on influential uh, Black Americans and things like that.
But that's good.
Work in progress. We got something, a little bit of something, because I have a whole list of people, and I just need more details and do that. So I was like, on the fly, that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty good history lesson in Black Air Magic. She
I
did
know,
that thing.
1930. So I was like, you go, girl.
And she did that thing at 16.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know what happened to the oh, I guess Russia hacked into it or something because they
Hmm.
I seen it, then all of a sudden my stream went blank. I'm like, it's not supposed to be over this early. But
Hmm.
yeah, but other than that, um where can people find you, Miss Risky?
All over social medias, but I mainly hang out on Instagram at RSKEE, on Twitter, Facebook, Wix, WordPress, all of the things. My books can be seen on rskeebooks.com, and you can check out my works. Stuff is sold anywhere there's an online vendor.
There you go. And how's the trivia game going?
I have a few more things, questions to put down, and then it's a matter of how to present it and who to present it to. That's our next step.
All right.
Because I think
Well,
this will be fun. I think this will be fun, and then like we're not like this quarantine's not going anywhere soon, so this will be a great game, a great addition to the families that they could do together. Adults mainly, because there's some curse words in there.
we don't want kids be getting
You know,
in trouble. Time I go to
you know,
timeout,
not
know
you know.
you can't be
Risky
saying
said
that.
I could say that's on the card, Mama. It's on the card.
They're gonna file charges against you. Talking about why you didn't say it
Mhm.
was 18 and up.
Uh-huh. Well,
Yeah,
I mean, the age of what I think they can do like what's the PG 13? 13 and up? I
yeah,
don't know.
13.
I mean,
I
it's
believe.
not vulgar. There's a few curse words but it's like in reference to like a lot of movies that adults would watch. So it'll be for a mature audience, like those video games, mature audiences. But kids are still shooting them up and shooting hookers on Grand Theft Auto anyway. So
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
that's a lot because I think I tried to play it the first time it came out, and I was like, mm-mm.
No, I was planning and struggling.
Mm,
Never played the game. It was a free thing. And my niece had to help me at the time. My niece was 7. And
mm.
my grandmother comes in the room. She's like, "What are y'all doing?" And my niece goes, "Oh, just shooting some hoes." And I'm like, "So, okay, so we're playing this game, trying to trying to shoot some hoes for some money." It was something like that, and I just died. And Granny was like, "What? Did she say hoes? She's killing hoes for money?" Like, it's a game. She's showing me how to navigate. Like, she just knew, like, because I don't know. I guess when you get older, your dexterity is just like horrible. Yeah, she was helping me shoot some hoes and get some money.
Hey, it take me back to Mr. Do days and Dead Doug, Pac-Man, Donkey
Listen, I
Kong.
still
I'm
have
old.
that. I still have my Atari. I'm gonna hook it up on one of my long weekends. Play
Well,
all my
yeah,
games. Galaga was my game right there.
I played that the other day. My partner got a PlayStation 4 in and go over there and he's like, yeah, man, I got this PlayStation 4. Why don't you come by? And I'm like, all right, I'll come by. But we have it here also because we actually have a one of the huge old school video
Hmm.
games, and I think it's over 200 uh, radio set and television.
I
Hey,
think that was before my time. Or
no,
was it ColecoVision? Because we had
Kaliko.
ColecoVision and then Atari. I got the Atari, and I still have my Atari, and it still works. I mean, every once in a while you gotta jiggle some stuff,
Gotta shake it like
blow on
this.
it,
um,
shake it, and put it in.
it's amazing because when my wife and I got together, we both had a PlayStation 1. And so we have that. I have a Super Nintendo. Oh, I
Yeah,
can't reach it now.
I think I have regular Nintendo.
I
I
have
sold my Super one, but I bought the little Super Nintendo multi-pack thing that they had at Target that I don't play.
you know, well, we have a lot of video games, and
I love video games from back in the day.
my wife was like, "You want a PlayStation 5?" I'm like, "No, I still have PlayStation 3 that I haven't played in probably in over a year or two. So no, I'm good. But we
And I
do
hate that the Wii just kind of disappeared. I love the Wii.
we have a
It,
Wii too.
but mine is doing some things. I don't know if it still runs. Like
I
what's
haven't
doing
played
things?
I haven't played Wii in probably about 3 or 4 years.
Like they went
So
to Wii University and then all of a sudden Wii was gone, null and void. I love Wii.
yeah, but I love the old school game we have. It have like over 100 games on it, and
Yeah,
I love playing Mr. Do. I don't know
I've
if
never even heard of that.
said Mr. Do is a game everybody slept on, um, because it's similar to Dead Doug,
Uh-huh.
but it's completely different. We used to have competition with Mr. Do on Saturdays. We used to go to my aunt house, Rissa. So and used to go to her house on Saturday, and that's what we did all day. I'm talking
See,
about everybody in the neighborhood came over there, and we had competition on Mr. Do all day long.
our family, we played food fight. And
Right.
listen, if you don't know what food fight is, and then they do replays of the best plays, and either whether you die, if it was a good kill or play, they're gonna replay it, and then your family gets to razz you again, like, "Ah, you got it in the right." Like it is hilarious, and
So
it stressed you out. Like your goal is to like go to your home base. There are portals, and sometimes a chef will come out and he's trying to throw food at you and kill you. Well, you can use
okay,
the food against them as well. And certain foods are better at tossing than others.
like a
So
piece.
there's no pizza. It's like
Oh,
peas, maybe a burger, but the watermelon and bananas you can sling, and the watermelon is like continuous, but it's timed. So you got to get to your home base before the chefs get you. It's fun.
okay.
It's like it scarred us for life though, because our family ain't right in the head. Like we can't even play Monopoly. We so competitive.
Yeah, my wife and I we would play it on PlayStation. I think that's the last time I played Monopoly. Um,
And my
that's
grandmother
that's
made it
interesting.
mysteriously disappear. No, it was
um,
a good board. It was like a some kind of anniversary. It was like a nice board with wood letters, and then like the platform had like the raised compartments, so you can just snap them into place.
oh,
Yeah, so that your letters wouldn't move.
and so
Um,
yeah,
and then oh, that's Scrabble that I'm thinking of. Scrabble. So Scrabble and Monopoly are banned, but we had like the Monopoly board where it folded, but it was also a commemorative Monopoly game, and that disappeared because nobody wanted to sell or trade. And then if I got the crack houses, everybody was broke because
they
I
come
put
around
motels on them immediately.
exactly. They come around that go its own.
Yeah, so those games are no longer allowed at Granny's house.
Mm.
And I think
Ready?
Candyland was even banned. I'm just saying.
Oh wow. Now
Yeah,
see with
that's too
Monopoly,
bad.
everybody you had to watch who was the banker
That is true. That is true.
because they would get you. So
Well, yeah, our family was pretty cool when it came to the banking. It was just the properties that became a problem, but it's just a roll of the dice and just lucked out. But we also didn't play it right because I didn't know you could do auctions on the properties that you land on and didn't want to buy. We didn't
Yes.
know about that. I was like, black folks, we never read the rules.
We
We
make
just
up our
play.
own rules.
Put the money in the pot.
Exactly. Radio said I'm into flight simulator. I played some on like at Dave and Buster or something.
Yeah.
I like them too, but I I would like to be able to fly a plane or something. So,
Yeah.
but
I
I
like shooting zombies, but that gives me nightmares.
yeah. Um. So
That's
that's
what I played on my Wii. If there was a zombie in it, I was playing it.
and I'll tell you another game that is interesting before we get up out of here. Phase 10. It's a card game. It's
Oh, I know what you're
kind of
talking
like
about.
Uno, but
No,
okay, no, it's not because you have
because I
to.
played it recently and I thought it was my Caucasian friend's game. I was like, what kind of mess is this? It'll like mess up your life. Like no, that's a
Well,
horrible game.
before COVID, we had the opportunity to go to well, we went to California, but then we drove to Vegas, spent a couple of days, came back to California. Well, my aunt in California, we stayed at her home, and so we were like, okay, so we had phase 10. We started playing it, and at first she was like, I don't like this game because she stayed on phase 1 for like the first 6 hands. And then she came back and won the game. Now it's like,
Yeah, I gave up. I was like, I don't even know, like, how are you getting all these phases? And then I misunderstood one of the rules, and I was like, that's stupid. I was
well,
like, that's stupid. I was like,
you have
what? It has to, like, once I figured it out, I was like, okay, but that's not what it said. But I
you,
get it.
you
It's,
have to read the rules because some people will
yeah,
change them to benefit them. We
yeah.
had someone to do it. I'm not gonna call them out, but my favorite sister-in-law. Uh,
But also, it's like some of the challenges or the stages are tricky, and it's a matter of interpretation. So you have to be clear and on the same page, which is what
exactly.
I was like. I took it as one way, but they played it other way. I was like, whoa, 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 whoa! It said colors.
All one color.
Yeah,
So
and then it was like, no, it's just in, and I was like, oh no, this is stupid. I'm out.
yeah, that
Like that
run
is
of
not what I was thinking, but that's all right.
yeah,
So,
it's interesting. I like Phase 10. I used to have a little handheld game that played Phase 10,
yeah.
and it was good. Um, then it broke on me. I guess I played it too much. um, but hey, it's our time. Um, we have early mornings, so um, we actually gonna get ready to tiptoe out. Here just a minute. Um, hold on, let me see some. Uh, it's gone. Oh, it's still on. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're gonna try to catch a little bit of this debate before it goes off, and I did record it, but I need to pay close attention to it. And Sunday we will discuss it Sunday. So tonight you can find Risky on all YouTube radio. Thank you for always tuning in, being a faithful listener. You and T Cal both. Welcome Gabe back for coming in again tonight. And anyone else that I've actually have logged in, I can see. Thank you for tuning in, being faithful listeners. You can follow Risky on all um, platform as well as myself. If you
If
see me
you
on
want to find me, Instagram is the best way to go.
Instagram, don't be afraid. And if you know someone that have the connection to be able to get this trivia game published,
Yeah,
holla,
like how to even get it going.
holla at her. Send the information in. Um, And you have been listening to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog, with Miss Risky on Thursday night. We really appreciate each and every one of y'all for tuning in. And we're gonna go finish watching this debate. And other than that, we love you. Until Sunday night, I will be back 8 p.m. Central. Until then, peace.